Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are going to continue talking about moment and turning effects. We are going to answer the questions on the worksheet. That was homework, and the rest of the question. Then we are going to talk about Hooke's law, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First question, yalla. What was the answer? Okay, we have object X and object Y. Object is a smaller, but they have the same distance from the pivot. So which one is the answer? The answer is B. Yes, thank you. They have same mass and same weight, but different density because they have different volumes. Question number 2. Okay, we balance several objects and we want to know which one is the lightest. The lightest is object number 4, which is D. Yes, shukran. Tamam. Okay, good. Shukran. Question number 3. A uniform. When they said uniform, that means its mass and its weight act on the center. Write it down. Its weight act at the center. Okay. A uniform beam of weight 50 Newton, 3 meter long. So the 3 meter long, its weight acts exactly at the center and it acts downwards. Okay, it acts where downwards like this. That's the weight, which is 50 Newton. Okay, long and supported by a pivot situated at 1 meter far from here. This is the pivot. Okay, 1 meter from one end. When the load of weight W, this is the weight of weight W, we don't know how much is W, it's acting downwards like this. Okay, hang from that end, the beam is in equilibrium, and we said that equilibrium means balance and stable. Balance and stable. Balance means there is no resultant force, stable means there is no resultant moment. Okay, as shown in the diagram. What's the value of W? Now, if this is the pivot and we want to find out the moment clockwise and the moment anti-clockwise that acts here, we can find that there is a moment act clockwise from the 50 Newton weight, and there is a moment act anti-clockwise from what? From the weight W. So moment clockwise equal moment anti-clockwise. So the moment clockwise, which is force 50 multiplied by how far it is from the pivot. How far is the distance here? Now we know that the whole length is 3 meters and it's act from the center, as we said that. So that means the distance from here to here is 1.5 meter. So the distance from here to here is 0.5 minus 1 meter. So the distance here, it's multiplied by 0.5. Okay, equal the moment anti-clockwise, which is from the W multiplied by the distance to the pivot, which is 1. طيب. So again, ya shabab, force times distance for the weight of the ruler, okay, of the uniform beam, sorry. So 50 multiplied by 0.5, the distance from it to the pivot, equal the force times distance anti-clockwise from the load W multiplied by the distance to the pivot, 1 meter. So W will be equal half the 50, which is what? 25 Newton. So the answer is what? The answer is A. Good. ماشي الحال? Okay. Next question. 2 equal forces act on each plank. Okay. Why did we write 50 at the middle? Okay. نعيد مرة ثانية. أي object, it has a weight, and we have to know where's the weight of it. Can the weight act on one of the edges unless they tell us? No, they didn't tell us. They said that's any uniform beam. That means the weight is act where? At the center. What's the center of the 3 meter? It's here in the middle. So the distance, half of the 3 meter from here to the edge here, it's 1.5. So how far it is from the pivot? If we subtract 1 meter, 1.5 minus 1 meter, it's 0.5. So the distance from the point here, which is in the middle, the weight, okay, the 50 Newton, since it's uniform, it's far from the pivot, half meter, since the pivot, it's 1 meter far from one side and 2 meter far from the other side. So 1.5 meters. So what left here? 0.5. Good? Tamam? Okay, good. Okay, welcome. Next. 2 equal forces act on each end of the plank. Okay, which plank turns? The plank, okay, as you can see, these are clockwise and anti-clockwise moment, they are equal. The same here. The same here. They cancel out each other as forces. So the one which is turns is D. Now, we did this one before. Okay, the answer is A. And here, which one is in equilibrium? The diagram shows a uniform road with a midpoint, okay, as the pivot. Two equal forces, okay, are applied on the end of the road. Which label diagram shows the road is in equilibrium? The answer is yes, B. Thank you. أنا شايف واحدة اللي عم بتجاوبنا كل الأسئلة اللي هلا ما شاء الله عليها فرح. بدي إياكم البقية تشاركوا وتساعدوا. Okay, question number 7. Okay, which statement is correct? A heavy beam is rested on two supports so that there is three forces acting on it. The beam is in equilibrium. When they said equilibrium, that means there is no resultant force and no resultant moment. The resultant force is 0 and the resultant moment is also 0. So the answer is C. شكرا يا فرح. تمام هيك؟ يا سلام عليكم. We did this one before. The weight of the baby is less than W because it has a farther distance than the load W. Okay, we did this question number 9 last time. And we did question number 10 last time also. Number 11, we did it also last time. Okay, now we start talking about the center of mass, and we said that the center of mass is the point where the weight acts on it. Okay, and to say how to be more stable, we said that we have two conditions to be more equilibrium: wider base area and lower center of mass. احنا بنعمل ريفيجن قاعدين للورك مع الحصص اللي اخذناها المره الماضيه. Okay, now there was homework, these multiple choice questions. Okay. A light aircraft stands at rest on the ground. It stands on three wheels, okay? One in the front and two in the back. We have two wheels here, one here and one behind, okay? And only one wheel in front. Which point could be the center of the mass? Of course, it cannot be A because it will topple over forward. It cannot be C or D. So the center of mass, it will be B, okay? شكرا للي بيجاوبوا. Yes, الله يسعدكم. Okay. An empty, that means it doesn't have a thing, anything, any liquid. An empty glass is placed on a joint between two tables, as shown. The glass remains stable. Which point of is the center of mass of the glass? Now, because it's a uniform shape, so the center of mass, it can be at the central line. زي ما درستوا بالماث هذا ايش اللي بيكون عندنا symmetrical shape right and left side. Now if the center of mass is A, that means the weight here acts out of the base area, so it will fall down. So which one is the answer? The answer is C. شكرا. Yes, the C is the point where is the center of mass. Whenever we put more liquid here, the center of mass will go higher a little bit. Maybe it finally fall down. And here we answered before, the answer was A. Okay. Now, I told you, and you know, that to find the center of mass of any lamina, what we need several points, okay, to check where is the center of mass, because I will hang it from one point, for example, this one, and this will be the plumb line that will be on it, and maybe I will hang it again by another point to draw another plumb line like this, and where both lines meet, it will be what? It will be the center of my mass. So what is this? They ask about what is the smallest number of holes that I should hang, okay, from it, and the answer is B. I need 2 points to hang from to where is the center of mass. If I hang it from 3, I'll be more accurate, okay, but they ask about the minimum number, okay, it's 2. Question number 5, okay, which one of these arrangement is the most stable? نرجع مرة تانية. Question number 4 يا شباب. Question number 4 يا شباب. احنا بدنا which diagram shows the smallest number of holes at which the metal plate should be hanging in order to find the center of mass. One hole, I will not find the center of mass. It can be any point on the line, on the plumb line. 2 holes, I will find it, but not accurate. 3 or 4, I will be more accurate. They didn't ask about the accuracy. They asked how to find it out. So I need at least what? 2 holes, okay, to hang it from. Question number 5. A student uses a stand and a clamp to hold a flask of liquid. I need to hold it. Which diagram is the most stable? Yes, الشباب بلشوا يبعتوا لنا، في ناس بعتوا A، في ناس بعتوا B، في ناس بعتوا ايش؟ طبعا C و D لا. ليه؟ C و D لا، لأنه الويت بيكون outside the base area. Outside the base area. So the answer is A and B. Which one can you tell me if it's A or B? Now بلشوا يبعتوا لي ناس A وبلشوا يبعتوا لي B. شكرا شكرا. Why B؟ صح. The answer is B. Why B؟ لا مش لأنه wider، لأنه center of mass is lower. Because the center of mass here it's higher, but the center of mass here is lower. So here it's the same base area and it acts on the same base area, both of them, the weight, okay? So because B, it has lower center of mass, so it will be more stable. يعني ما بدي أعمل experiment وأعلقها من السقف. Okay, I will not put it as high as possible. No, I'll put it as low as possible over the bench. Okay, to be more stable. يعني accidentally, if someone hit the bench or hit the clamp or whatever, the stand, it will not tip over easily. تمام؟ واضح؟ حلو؟ طيب. We did this one last time. Okay. And we did the push-up question last time. Now, last part of the question. This is a part not included from this year, from another year. Okay, I put only this part because this is about the moment that we are going to talk about it. The other part is not talking about moment. شوف السؤال شو بيحكي لنا. سؤال كثير حلو مرتب. يلا نركز. مين بيحب الاليفنت؟ مين شاف elephant before؟ شوفوا السؤال هذا بيحكي عن الاليفنت. The figure shows another elephant. يعني في كان سؤال part A أو B في بيحكي عن elephant، هون another elephant. Okay. Using pushing horizontally against a vehicle of what? A force of 11 kilonewton. 11 kilonewton acts horizontally. هاي elephant is pushing in this direction 11 kilonewton. Okay, the vehicle. Point M is the center of mass of the vehicle. طلع وين point M؟ هيها. فالويت تبع ايش؟ تبع الvehicle acts downwards like this in this direction. That's the weight of the vehicle. Okay, the arrow of it. What they ask? Calculate the amount of calculate the moment about the pivot, the point A, هي point A. Calculate the moment about A of the force exerted by whom? By the elephant. طيب طلعوا لي كويس هالصورة مرة ثانية يا شباب. هاي الاليفنت عم تعمل okay force بهاي direction above the point A، معناته it rotates in this direction, so it's anti-clockwise. It rotates anti-clockwise. And the weight of the car لسه ما جبناش سيرته هلا, it acts downwards to the right of the point A, so it acts in this direction, which is what? Clockwise. Okay, now they ask about, yes, shukran, bravo. So the moment of the elephant, okay, which is anti-clockwise, it's equal the force of the elephant multiply by the distance here. What is the distance? The distance is how far the perpendicular distance from the force to the point A. يلا في عندي أنا هاي الديستانس اللي هي 1.25 اوكي، وفي عندي هاي الديستانس 1.8. ال 1.8 مع الفورس اوف the elephant، وال 1.25 هي الفورس from the center of the mass. فايش بيطلع عندي؟ equal 11,000 multiply by ايش 1.8. فبيطلع الجواب زي ما بعثوا لنا الصبايا، شكرا لكم، ايش 19.8 كيلو نيوتن دوت متر. اوكي 19,800. اوكي طيب خلينا بالله نشوف هالشغله بس لو سمحتوا. اوكي طيب يلا نكمل. double I. The mass of the vehicle is how much? This is the mass 1900 kilogram. يعني الويت equal how much? 1900. كيف عرفت انه الويت هالقد يا شباب؟ How did I do? اعطانا الماس، كيف بدي اعرف انه الويت؟ I add zero. ليش I add zero? Multiplied by how much? multiply by 10 and weight equal mass times gravity. So I multiply this mass by 10 which is the gravity acceleration. شكرا يا هنا، شكرا يا آلاء، شكرا يا الشباب اللي بعتوا، في كثير ناس بعتوا. Okay, and it does not slide, okay, when pushing the elephant. Determine, okay, whether the elephant tips the vehicle over. Show your working. خلينا نشوف. هلا أنا عندي كمان شغل، كمان moment من مين؟ من الويت تبع الايش؟ تبع الفيكل. فالمومنت of the vehicle ايش؟ of the weight of the vehicle اللي هي المومنت ايش؟ clockwise is equal الويت تبع الفيكل multiply by the distance, okay, from the center of mass to the vehicle. قد ايه الويت of the vehicle حكينا؟ 1000 ايش؟ sorry, 1900 multiplied by 10, so 19,000. Multiply. How far it is? It's 1.25. These two values when we multiply them قد ايه بيطلع الفاليو؟ بيطلع الفاليو أكبر من الجواب اللي قبل شوي طلعناه. فبيطلع الانسر 1900 multiplied by 1.25 فبيطلع الانسر 23,750 نيوتن دوت متر. Which is what يا شباب؟ Which is what؟ شكرا يا فرح، شكرا يا شباب صبايا، يسلم. Which is what يا شباب؟ Which is more than what؟ the moment of the elephant، صح؟ Which is more than the moment of the elephant. Because it's more than the moment of the elephant معناته does the elephant tip over the vehicle or doesn't? Conclusion إنه no it doesn't. Why؟ it doesn't، مش كاتب الاكسبلانيشن بس احنا الفكره it doesn't tip over. احنا هيك عملنا ايش؟ انه فرجيناه انه more than 19,800 فاحنا فرجينا الكالكوليشنز انه احنا الجواب تبعنا no it doesn't. اوكي، حلو السؤال هيك. طبعا هذا السؤال من الاسئله اللي هيك بدها ايش open minded، يعني ليش اختاروا هاي السياره ما اختاروا السيارات الثانيه؟ لانه السنتر اوف ماس تبعها لو وعندها وايد بيس اريا والاليفانت مستحيل يعملها تيبنج اوفر. تمام، حلو السؤال. اي اسئله هون؟ is it clear؟ واضحه الامور؟ الحمد لله.